I arrived in downtown Los Angeles. That's the date I started my sobriety date of March 29, 1990. Wearing a size 1 pair of pants and 2 pants underneath. With this huge sweatshirt. 4 months pregnant with a dead baby in my belly. Didn't have a heartbeat by the time I got to California. My hair was a mess. It was all over my head and missing different gaps and bruises. We call them cocotazos, but they're like lumps, you know, like in your head. Black eyes and just pus and pimples and all kinds of things breaking out of my face and my body and scabs. Still thinking I was cute. That's what's trippy. I was kind of cute. And my mother picked me up and she dropped me off in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous because they had told her to. And I came to you really terrified. I know that my mother was scared as well. She didn't know what was going to happen and what I was going to do. I got sober in 96, 04 and Crenshaw Lano. I still say that's my home. I'm proud of the breed that I come from. And I came into that room and my mother left me there. And she said, this is as far as I can go with you. Because she knew I couldn't listen to her. She had been the attraction, the seed was already planted. But there was nothing more she can do at that point. And she turned me over to these people that had saved her life. And so many of the old-timers that were there is why I say I'm so grateful for the old-timers. Because I don't know where I would be if they weren't there when I got there. I'm grateful we don't get well around here. I always think about this story that Clancy told me on his 48th birthday. I was speaking at a meeting and he was leading the meeting, and he always takes a meeting at this little church where he used to sleep at this car. He always takes a cake there. And he was celebrating 48 years of sobriety, and at this time I was 40 years old. And I remember I went to Clancy afterwards and I said, I know you must hear this 50 million times, but you have been sober longer than I've been alive. And he could have said anything else. And Clancy looked at me and he said, I remember when I was 8 years sober. I wanted to drink really, really bad. And I was just sick and tired of life, and I was sick and tired of the program, and I was tired of going to meetings, and I was short of drink. And he said, so I was on my way to the liquor store, and I had made up my mind that that's what I was going to do. And when I got in front of the liquor store and I was ready to open up the door, he said, I heard a voice. And the voice said, no, Clancy, you can't take a drink, because there's a girl being born right now, and she's going to need you 40 years from now. I always like that story. Because we have no idea that that's what's actually happening. And I like that story because it means a lot to me. That right now, this moment, somebody is being born. And I don't know where they're going to need me, but they're going to need me sometime. Whether it's 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now. And I got to keep coming back. Because those old timers kept coming back. Because years ago when I was born, and I was born sick, and I was born addicted, I don't know, and you didn't know that one day I was going to need you when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I had nowhere else to go and no other way to live. And if you weren't here, or Bill or Dr. Bob, or if Eddie didn't go visit Bill, and, you know, to me, AA is my family. And if they didn't care and they stayed selfish and self-centered, I would be in trouble. A lot of the old times from 96 to 4 have passed on. They opened that big meeting in the sky. And I am responsible to carry the same message that they carried to me. Because Bill and Dr. Bob are not here, but we feel them, we can touch them, we can sense them. They thought about this girl named Theresa years ago when they wrote the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. How are we going to tell Theresa about what we have done? And those old timers, when I came here, they cradled me, they nurtured me, they rocked me, they spoon-fed me. They knew I was sick. They knew I didn't know no better. They didn't have a whole lot of expectations on me. Yes, they were tough on me. I call it tough love, whatever you want to call it. They got my attention. That's all I need to know. Enough to listen to these people. They gave me a sponsor who had a working knowledge of the steps in the book. That's all I needed to know. I love the traditions in these programs. I learned the traditions earlier on in my recovery. The traditions were really important for a drunk like me. I'm a member because I say I am, and you can't throw me out. I don't care if you don't like me. I have a desire. You should have seen me in my first year. I was a mess. I used to tell people I'm a member, okay? And you have to help me. I have a desire, all right? I don't care if you don't like me. I don't like you. It don't matter. We're a group that don't normally mix. I got to see the God consciousness in the room. I began to understand this relationship about God through you. I saw it in you. That's why I like the story when Ebby came to visit Bill. It's what Bill saw in Ebby that captured his attention. To just allow him, even when his mind closed shut, to just open it up just a little bit. It's because what he saw. And it's what I saw in you. I saw a light in people's eyes. I saw people interacting in ways that I had never seen before. You were an expression of a love that was foreign to me. You respected each other. I didn't even know that was the word until I saw it. Oh, is that what respect looks like? Oh, you mean to tell me that's not normal? You're not going to hit her? Oh, I just said something to you that was upsetting. Are you going to hit me now? Oh, you don't like me. You're going to punch me, right? That's the world I came from. Alcoholics Anonymous has been more to me than just not drinking. When I came to you, it was because I couldn't drink no more. If I would have came here, you would have just told me my only issue is not to drink. I'd have been like, thank you. Can I please blow my brains out? I came to you because I can't drink anymore, and I don't understand what I'm going to do now. I came to you like I had 20 bullet holes in me, and I'm bleeding all over the place. I'm not interested in your credentials. Do you have a needle and a thread? I've got no more gauze. I've got nothing else to hold these holes together. Help me, because I'm dying. Not that I'm gonna die. I am dying. I can't breathe. Alcohol's not doing what it's supposed to do. Somebody better tell me something. Because I can't do another 24 hours present for the experience. They had to give me a whole new way of life. Talk about getting rid of old ideas. All my ideas did not apply when I got here. They told me my best thinking got me here. That I had to change one thing, and that was everything. I had to learn a whole new way of life. And that there was 3 essentials to this program. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. And they used to say just a mustard seed of willingness. For the first time in my life, I didn't have to figure out nothing. I've been figuring out stuff I've been living on my own since I was 14. Ain't nobody was in my house when I was 5, when I was 7, and when I was 8. I've been hustling since I was a little girl. Planning A, B, C, where we going? What we doing? Being a grown woman in a little girl's body. When I got here and the old timers told me that I didn't have to figure nothing out, I was relieved. I was like, are you serious? They were like, you don't have to figure out nothing. They told me just follow the black on the white. Gave me the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and this is how thousands of men and women have recovered, and they wrote it in this book for a girl like me to read, and all I had to do was follow the black on the white. I love the simplicity of this program for a complicated, confused, lost girl like myself. They used to say, keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. They used to tell me there are no big deals. You're as sick as your secrets. They were redundant. I love the redundancy that I found in the rules. It's an inside job. It's an inside job. The program is outlined in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. You must find a power greater than yourself. This is a spiritual program of action. A spiritual program of action. At one time I drank. Today I don't. For the grace of God. But for the grace of God. I cannot do this on my own. It was as though it was being programmed. They used to say, your brain needs washing. And they used to brainwash you. I lived in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. I was 3,000 miles from my home. So this became my home. I had nowhere else to go. I slept in those chairs. I loved the Alano Club just because I could stay there. And I would sleep and I would have hot dogs and soda and be in between the meetings. And then I loved the meeting after the meeting. And many people hung out with me in coffee shops. I didn't know what they were talking about. I didn't know what was going on. I just knew I was safe. For whatever reason, I used to feel like the disease of alcoholism was lurking in the bushes in the corner outside the meeting, and it was going to catch me at any minute. And it was waiting for me to be alone so it can grab me and take me back. They gave me a sponsor. Again, I'm grateful. All I needed to know about this sponsor is that she had a working knowledge of the steps in the book. Her personality was insignificant. My sponsor never asked me to do anything she wasn't doing. I followed her, I did what she did. She used to walk like she talked. And we would sit down and we would go through the big book. I had the honor of having some wonderful gentlemen sit down with me, Leon and Ralph and Ronald. And they took me through the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous with a dictionary. And people were just spoon-feeding me. They put me in the middle of the herd of unity, recovery, and service. And they told me, sweep the floors and pick up the chairs. I don't remember volunteering for anything.